Here we have a 2024 Acura multi-dimensional luxury SUV. That's right, I didn't know what MDX was until I looked it up. The Acura MDX has been around since 2001. In its latest version, this 2024 model, it's extremely refined, sophisticated, high-end luxury. It is a premium brand, but it's also in a very competitive, crowded segment. You have things like the BMW X5, the Audi Q5, Mercedes GLE, all of its European competitors, and the Infiniti QX60, among others, but it still holds its own. This is a very sophisticated vehicle, really nicely put together, nice to drive, quiet and comfortable inside. And what I like about this is it's not over the top, it's conservative, and if you want to drive something that's flying under the radar that doesn't get a lot of attention, but it's still a really nice vehicle, then this is the car for you. So in the front we have a giant Acura logo to not let you forget what the car is, and the grille all points towards the logo. And then thank you to Sterling Acura today for letting me borrow this car. I love the color on this MDX, the Apex Blue Pearl. It really gives it something extra. And this is also the A-Spec version, which means that it comes with a different styling package. It's sportier. It's got the higher end ELS Studio premium audio system, 16 speakers, seats that have ultra suede inserts, ventilated seats, and a few other things. And when it comes to the look of the car, it's got your classy good looks that's refined. And the way the car sits, it has a premium feel to it, a luxury feel to it. This Acura A-Spec really stands out with this Apex blue color scheme and the gray wheels without being anything too crazy. When you look at it, you know that it's a high-end vehicle, and I love the design of the taillights and the headlights. And it's an overall package that's really nicely put together. Perfect for somebody that's looking for a high-end SUV without really standing out. In any other color, it might be a little bit too bland or boring, but with this color scheme and the wheels, that does help it set it apart a bit. This is a decent-sized SUV with a good amount of room back here. Not a huge amount of legroom if the driver's seat is pushed all the way back, but it's wide enough to fit 3 adults pretty comfortably back here. Now you can't actually take out the middle seat here, so you have 2 captain seats, kind of like in a van, and providing you easier access to the third row, which, believe it or not, there's a third row of seats back here. And taking this out is not that big of an effort. First you pull on this latch and this plops down. And this is actually also a dual purpose, which serves as a cup holder or center armrest. But to really remove the seat, you pull on another latch over here, and the thing just comes out. To get into the back seat, just push this button down here and it folds down. Very easily moves forward, and then you can squeeze yourself back in. But this space back here is not for adults. Pretty tight, kids only. So with the third row of seats up, it does remove a lot of the space you might have, so you have to put them down if you want to use this for its actual utility, you know, the multi-dimensional luxury piece of it, MDX. So to put the seats down, it's pretty easy. And that gives you a lot more room back here, and you have some extra room underneath. So they've done a good job of giving you more than enough storage space in this car. And then clearly what's nice about this Acura is it's got the room, it's got the space, the utility. You can put all of your family in here and friends, whoever you want. But it's also very luxurious inside. The seats are really, really nice with the suede inserts. Very comfortable, very plush. The interior quality and dash is as you would expect out of Acura. It is very refined. And with the A-Spec, you got this nice stitching on the dash as well. So it's a step above just the base model MDX. Once you start up the car and you get inside, there's nice graphics on the dash, and you have your 2 12.3-inch screens. The dash area is nicely laid out, but I have to say I'm not a big fan of this gloss black. Luckily, there's not a huge amount of the gloss black on the inside. Most of it looks really nice. Now, normally the screens are all touchscreen, but in this one, Acura has decided to go with this touchpad. And the touchpad works a little bit differently from like a regular mouse pad. You have to keep your finger on to scroll through the different items. If you lift off the finger, then it goes away. And then you just swipe to move between menus. And because the car is wide, you have a very wide center console area, so you don't have to fight over your passenger on who gets to have their arm on the armrest. This volume knob, I couldn't find it forever because I thought it would be up here, but instead it's down here. So that's an odd location for it. So on startup, you get to see some interesting graphics on the dash. And I'm a big fan of this visual display of the car as well. This dial in the middle, you can use this to adjust between drive modes. And it has video game-like noises, like you're switching characters. Acura has had some fun with this menu. You can hold down this button to customize the different settings. And then you use the touchpad to adjust settings on here. And the gauge, you can change different modes. So comfort, normal, sport. And in sport mode, everything turns red. What I'm impressed by when driving this is how quiet it is. If I roll down the windows, there's a lot of wind noise coming in, but the insulation and the thickness of the materials and the quality of the materials just dampen all the outside noise. So it's very quiet in here. And then in comfort mode, things are obviously a lot more relaxed. The suspension's softer, the steering is a lot more pliable. But in sport, it's not like things get a lot stiffer or a lot different. Definitely the handling tightens up a bit. And because this car does not have the Type S-like power of 355 horsepower, you don't have a ton of power in here to play around with, but this car is ultimately meant for luxury and comfort and quietness, which all of those things the Acura does a great job at. Now, if you do want to push the SUV, you can, and this is how it sounds. It's not bad, it's got something, and the sound is piped in artificially, but that happens with just about every car nowadays. So I think for daily driving, for the average driver with this car, they probably would be just fine with the power that this has. The nice thing about a car like this, as opposed to its German counterpart like a BMW X5 for instance, this will give you the kind of reliability you've come to expect from Honda and Acura. And even beyond the warranty period, this is going to be a cheaper car to maintain and keep up. So if you think about it from that perspective, you are getting a lot of value for the money, and you're getting the quality, the refinement, the luxury, and the reliability with this 2024 Acura MDX. And this one comes with some basic driving assistant features. For example, the lane change. It does a good job of staying within the lanes. Then it has the adaptive cruise control if you want to use that as well. The thing that pops into my mind when driving this MDX is how ideal it would be for long road trips. Even in sport mode, the ride is very comfortable. And you could use more power than what this one comes with, which is what the Type S is for. So the Acura MDX, you pretty much get what you see. It's a nice, refined, comfortable ride. Definitely luxurious, definitely high-end. So how much does all this cost anyway? This is listed at $62,000 MSRP, and this is the A-spec. If you want the performance, which I would recommend, the Type S is the way to go with 355 horsepower, but it's also a lot more expensive. And if you look at cars like this, at this level, at this premium segment, all of them are priced the same way. So you have to pay a pretty penny. But with the MDX, the way that Acura has it here, it's extremely competitive with everything else. With the X5 and the Q5, it might not be up there in terms of performance, but you do get the luxury and the comfort and the ride quality that you're looking for this price point.